Hello, my name is Brandon Moorhead, and today I'll be talking to you guys about project-based learning. So to get us started, what is project-based learning? So project-based learning, or PBL, is a style of teaching to where students have a project that goes into their lesson to allow them to publicly display an answer to a problem. The first step you need to make is to find a lesson to where PBL will fit in for you. Then you need to create a list of projects or allow students to make up their own projects that would be appropriate to answer the problem that you have set aside for them in this lesson. So when setting up these groups, you want to have the groups very well managed, and you want a way to track each individual participation as well as each individual's learning. And with these groups, you want them to be big enough to where not any one student has to do too much work, and they have a chance to collaborate. But you also don't want them too big to where certain students don't have enough work to do and therefore get left out and the learning doesn't work for them. So when it comes to all of this, management's a very big problem, but if you can get that down, this should run smoothly. Questioning plays a big role into the project-based learning. You need to have students questioning themselves and the project all the way through. These questions help them stay focused, on track, and keep the learning alive for them. By questioning things, they will keep their mind engaged, and they will look for their own answers, and they will create their own learning in a way. As a teacher, you can also use questioning to help prompt students to an area that you would like them to arrive at. So some proper techniques for this would be to not only question your students, but also encourage them to question themselves and their project itself. We also need to talk about the habits of mind and how they fit into project-based learning. So to start off, what is the habits of mind? So the habits of mind are things that your mind goes through when trying to solve a problem. Some examples of this are persisting, thinking about thinking, questioning and posing problems, creating and innovating, and an openness to continuous learning. All of these things are very much engaged during project-based learning. Students are allowed to use innovation and try to problem solve and continue their learning through a project more than they would if it's just typical worksheets and lectures. Project-based learning allows students to tap into these habits of their mind and help them better understand not only this project but how to solve other problems down the road. There's also the 21st century learning skills that we can have involved in project-based learning. So 21st century learning skills are the skills that students need going into the new century and working out in the workforce. So with project-based learning, it helps students work collaboratively with other students on a project more than just schoolwork. It helps them find ways to get with each other and work together for a common goal. So project-based learning definitely helps students getting out into the workforce and getting out into the world and solving problems with their peers and with their colleagues. So then the main question is project-based learning effective in the classroom? So from all the research and looking that I've done so far, I have seen that for most people believe that it is effective. It helps students learn to collaborate with each other, and it also helps with their problem solving outside of school. So what are some advantages and then disadvantages of this project-based learning? Advantages are, of course, collaboration, problem solving, 21st century skills definitely get brought into play, and many other things. Maybe some of the disadvantages might be that as a teacher, this takes a little bit more time and planning. It could definitely take a few times for you to get this under control. First time might be a little strange for you and your students. When it comes down to it, I think the advantages weigh out the disadvantages here, and I feel that project-based learning is definitely a good style of teaching for the elementary classroom. So in conclusion, project-based learning is a partner in pedagogy style to where students get in groups and collaboratively work on a project that will help them solve a problem posed in your lesson. This can help students learn to collaborate and problem solve as a group, and this will help them with further life skills as well as the lesson itself.